Kutz, who's the UN's Deputy Regional Humanitarian Coordinator for Syria. He's actually in Gaziantep in Turkey right now. Mark, thanks so much for joining us. Is there any reason why the mandates would not be extended?
Well, we hope that the Security Council members will all put the needs of civilians first. And if they do that, they will extend this resolution just as they did last year. The needs are even greater this year than they were last year. There's more than 1 million people who are still living in camps. There's an economic crisis in the area with not enough food. 1 in 3 children is suffering from some form of malnutrition. Half of the children are out of school. It's a massive crisis, and people are utterly dependent on this aid operation. It's absolutely vital that we keep this aid operation going. So we certainly count on the Security Council to do what it did last year, which was to renew the resolution.
Wasn't there a point, Mark, where the Russians wanted to approve it, but not approve as many corridors as there had been previously? Is that still the case, or have the Russians relented and allowed all the previous corridors and entry points to be open?
Well, when this Security Council resolution was first adopted in 2014, there were 4 crossing points that were authorized for the UN to use. 1 of them from Jordan, 1 from Iraq, and 2 from Turkey. Since then, the Security Council has reduced the number of authorized crossing points, and that's because of strong objections from the Russians in particular and some other Security Council members. And at the moment, we only have 1 authorized crossing point into the northwest. This is now an absolutely vital corridor. We've had, more than 50,000 trucks that have taken aid into this area, the northwest, in the last 8 years. As I said, the numbers are staggering. There are 4 million people in that area, 4 million civilians who are essentially trapped in a war zone. They're highly dependent on this humanitarian aid. So we only have 1 crossing point now to reach these 4 million people who have humanitarian needs. It's absolutely vital that this crossing point is kept open.
Mark, what about funding for your work? I mean, you're talking about millions and millions of people. Presumably one agency, even if that agency is the United Nations, can't provide permanently for all these people.
Well, funding is a big problem, and that's because there are many humanitarian crises in the world today. In Ukraine, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Ethiopia, Yemen, so many other countries apart from Syria. So it is difficult to get the level of funding that is really needed. Last year, we got less than 50% of the funding that we'd requested. And with these funding problems and now the knock-on effects of the Ukraine crisis, it is affecting our pipelines, it's affecting the entire aid operation. The truth is that people in northwest Syria are not getting the help that they need even now. What we should be talking about is ways of expanding this aid operation. We should certainly not be talking about possibilities of having even less access. So we certainly hope the Security Council will authorize the extension of this resolution.
Especially for a country that's had a war for more than 11 years now. Mark Kutz, thank you so much indeed, Mark.